GingerGM.
To hear what I'm thinking about, and we've started the game, and to think what kind of ideas I'm coming up with. So I'm playing Savatage 27, and I'm going to start with D4. So as you see, it's 15 minutes. Is it two? Let's see how many seconds of move we get. Oh, it's only 2 seconds of move. So it's a little bit quicker than normal. I've got to remember that later on. It's not 10 seconds of move. It's 2 seconds of move. So we'll have to remember that later on. Well, let's go for a London system. I haven't played the London system for a long time. And remember, the idea of this is it's a bit of a longer time limit, so you will get a chance to hopefully learn the thoughts of a Grandmaster. Now, this is like a Nimzo Queen's Indian setup, and I now play E3 in this position generally, just to see what black does. A lot of people go B6 here, which allows Queen F3. D5 is another idea. And now we're getting more of a standard London system. I'm going to go Knight D2. I normally go C3, Bishop D3, Knight here. Black's put his bishop on D6. And there's a couple of things you can do here. You can go Bishop G3. I'm going to try a modern setup, just for a change of scene, where I've seen Magnus Carlsen be playing this a lot recently. This is where you allow black to take on F4, and when he plays C5, you take on C5. So I'm going to get 1 pawn to F4, 1 pawn to C5, meaning I won't have any pawns on these two files, but I will then later on try to control these two squares, these two dart squares with my pieces. So let's see if this idea, and it's always good to have a middle game idea from the opening, is going to work. So like I say, this is if he takes here. If he takes here and goes C5, I'm going to take both of these pawns and try to control the center with my pieces. Only because I've seen Magnus Carlsen play this middle game idea a lot. So, you know, why not copy the best? I've just realised my light's not on, so let me just put that on. That's probably why it's flickering. There we go. No more flickers now. Okay, so now black is getting ready to maybe play E5. And I've got to also think now, if he takes and goes C5 now, maybe taking on C5 is not as strong because his knight gets in the game. But I'm just going to go Knight F3. Given a chance, I might stop him having the opportunity of exchanging bishops. In the London system, moving the knight to E5 is a lot better. Oh, Jerry's saying that Ireland lost the match yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that, Jerry. It was a very fun match, very close match then in the end. So unlucky to Ireland. Hello, Frozen Edge. I know all about choking. I am Mr. Choke. Hello, Mary, and everyone else who's joined in, of course. Someone's saying it sounds better now. Is the sound actually... I've had some weird issues with the sound. I just need to spend like a bit of time setting it up, but hopefully it does all sound better now. Okay, right. Now, my opponent's obviously trying to win this one. I've got a couple of things I can do here. Number one, I can either take that one. Number two, I can move to one of these two squares. And number three, I can play Knight E5, which is maybe the most interesting. Knight E5, attacking his knight, takes. But then he keeps his dark square bishop. I'm not sure about that. If I exchange here, I don't really want to do that because I feel like his pawn structure, I quite like his pawn structure there. It's still okay because his knight and bishop are bad, but I'd rather try to avoid doing that. But if I go bishop here, I mean, bishop here looks the most aggressive. Then f6. Can I do something clever there? Like knight h4 or something crazy. Well, then just g6. Knight takes g6. Not working. Knight e5 looks the most interesting, but now I'm just thinking knight e5 takes, pawn takes, and let's say c5. Can I just go c3? How good is that bishop? Well, his bishop on c8 is very bad, because if I get a... Okay, this is the piece you always play against in the London system. You always play against the bishop on c8. So you don't want him to play e5 and move that bishop out. So I'm actually going to try this interesting plan of playing this move. You see how I hesitated there? Because I'm going to try to get my pawns here, and I'm going to try to get a little barrier so that he can't get his bishop out in the game. This is what I'm playing against. This is what I'm playing against, the bishop here. I was just wondering how good his bishop is, but his bishop doesn't look that good. The only way I have to worry is if he can play f6 and e5 later on. So if he can play these two moves, okay, well, I'm quite happy he's done this now. Because again, this is like a French defense where this is very strange that he took that so quickly. Because it's like a French defense, but his knight is very badly placed. He normally has a knight on f6 here. So I can play this in a couple of ways. I could even play queen g4. If I go c3, he might try something with queen b6, I guess. Queen g4 is very interesting here. And then if he castles, how about knight to f... Okay, let's go for this. He's playing very quickly. Let's go for it as well. The only way you can try to get counterplay something like this, but I'm thinking now I might even castle queenside, because if you compare the minor pieces, his two minor pieces are very bad. He's got very bad minor pieces, and this is now like a French defense. And Alekhine basically told us that when you have a pawn on e5, you should attack your opponent's king. So he's keeping the position closed over there. And now I'm just going to play c3. And I'm hoping to attack his dart squares. The other good idea of this queen is that I defend d4. And you can see he normally has his knight on c6. He really wants to have his knight on c6 here. These two pieces really badly placed. So I'm definitely a little bit better. And as Desert Storm is saying, I'm certainly going to try and create more weaknesses in his position by playing this. Old Harry-O, Harry-O, Harry-O. Okay, so he's played the best move. He's trying to get a little bit of pressure here. I mean, I actually think something sensible like castling kingside is better than going queenside. I mean, because if I go queenside, he might go c4 and get a pawn storm against my king. Well, why should I allow that? There's no reason to allow him any play here because he's only playing with his queen. So let's just go rook b1. He can't get these two guys in the game at the moment. Now he could try h5 here, g5, but I can always defend d4 with my pawn. And if I can just play a couple more moves like castles, h4, h5, I might play, but I think it's more important when you've got an advantage, just play sensible chess. It's more important, I'm playing for England. I want to play the best moves I can. I don't want to, I've got to make the boys proud. Got to make England proud. We've got to do it for England with my cup of tea today. Everyone's saying send Harry up the board. Well, Harry will come later, don't worry. It's more important here to get my king safe and even try to think how this... I'd love to get my knight into the position. One good square for my knight later on would be g4. If you can imagine, I can go bang, 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 and then into some of these weaknesses later on. Thank you for subscribing, old chess noob. Okay, so he's taken here, so I'll just take back. I don't see any problems whatsoever. My king can even go to e2, because he should probably play knight b8 now, because he's got to try and play with bishop b5, so he's not doing this so far. And I could even go king e2 here. I'm not worried about this at all. But let's not... Okay, the other thing I could do, if I castled, he's going to take my knight. I don't really want it. Why should I allow him to take this pawn? I could go queen here, trying to target his squares, but then he's going to grab this pawn. He's going to now try to get his knight in like this, which is a little bit annoying. Maybe I should just give this pawn. I'm going to give him this pawn because I feel with my knight coming around here and this coming, this is better. Because let's remember, if I play passively a3, he's going to go knight b6, bishop's going to come to b5, his knight might come in. So I think sacrificing a pawn like this. And the reason I've done this, I want to defend my knight so I can castle, but my queen is now on a better square. His move g6 has created some major dark square weaknesses around his king, meaning these squares highlighted where my queen can try to come into. And the reason my queen's come here is if he now tries to go knight here, my queen has potential to come into f6. But more importantly, I'm just going to play quickly. I'm not actually, I was thinking, why should I allow him to have a pawn? But come on, we can't play like a complete pussy always. We've got to have a pawn. You're going to get mated. Have the pawn. We can let him have the pawn. Because our idea, okay, so now I'm going to castle. And now I'm going to try to play h4, h5, knight f3, knight g5. Increasing the pressure. But I've also got now queen here, which looks very tempting, first of all. But do we move our knight in first to this square? I feel like we do. Now this is I'm starting to gain some threats. I'm up in development. I have sacrificed a pawn now, so I'm a little bit more committed than I was before. If my attack does not work, my opponent may well win. Okay, so can I now come here? I can. I can come in, because if he takes, I check, and take on h8. So I'm going to play this one. I'm going to try to just attack him. And now we have a big target here. So if he takes here, I can go check, king here, check on f6, and take the rook there, being the exchange up. Now I'd love to be able to get a rook to e3, but I can always defend this bishop by playing something like rook d1. And if he castles here, I'm thinking I will go queen h4. He will have to go h5, and you can see his king side is very weak. So this is why I've sacked the pawn here, because he's still behind in development. I mean, I think he should have tried to get his king this way, but it's very hard. Maybe he should have played h6, but then g6 is weakened. So he would like to play queen e7 now as well, but one of the problems of grabbing this pawn is his queen is a little bit offside. So he might have to castle, which looks incredibly risky for my opponent. If he castles, I will create another weakness. Remember, the more pawns he moves around his king, the weaker his king will become. So if he castles, I will go here, and he will have to go h5. And then my idea to attack will probably be rook d1. I want to defend the bishop, and g4. And that looks incredibly strong. I'm going to have 3 pieces attacking. Maybe my rook and my pawn will come into the attack, whilst my opponent's pieces are all on the queen side doing absolutely nothing. So if he castles this way, his king is just going to be too exposed. So he has to maybe play this move. Okay. Now I can take here, but then he takes here. And I like my bishop, yeah? There's no need to lose this bishop. This is always coming in. So let's just play rook here. If he goes h6, I can go knight takes f7. And maybe bishop takes g6. But I've got knight takes here is my main idea. And another square I'd love to get my knight into, as I said earlier, is this square on f6. So if I can come here and here, maybe I could have fought a bit longer in that last position and taken there. Queen takes here. Knight to f6 check. King here. Then gone queen g5 with a discovered check. Okay, but he's come in, so I can now take on f7. Rook takes, bishop takes here. Now, if I do take this one, it looks like the most dynamic way to play, definitely. Takes, bishop takes here. He can't defend f7 because his queen is offside. So let's now go in with this tactical idea. I'm also threatening knight d6, which is a big check. But of course, my main idea is rook takes, and I saw this idea before, of course, is bishop takes here, and he can't defend f7. Remember, his queen wants to come back to e7, but he's maybe not doing a very good job here. And now I can also come in on the dark squares, on the light squares, so this is looking really quite bad for my opponent now. We might be bringing the bacon home for England. Are we going to bring the bacon home for England? Maybe. So I don't know how many players are playing today. It looks like we're already up by 2 points. Oh, some guys have played 2 games already. So remember, it is 2 games against the opposition. So, you know, as soon as we finish one, you'll see 2 games. Okay, so now, well, this looks completely losing for him because he can't even castle because he'd be castling through check. So bishop takes g6 looks incredibly strong. But let's just do the most accurate way of winning this. Is queen f6 even better to get his king in a trap and threaten this checkmate? So let's have a look. Queen here, rook takes here, bishop takes g6. Can he avoid checkmate in that position? I don't see how. So this, to me, looks even stronger. The thing is, if I come in with bishop takes here, he is losing as well, isn't he? This is also crushing. Too many ways to crush. I think I'm going to go for queen f6 because he might be able to move his bishop if I take on g6. Like bishop takes here, bishop b5. Of course, he's still losing there, but I can't see the win. But if I go queen in, I don't know. There's a couple of good moves here, isn't there? Okay, I'm going to go for this one because this one, if he moves his bishop, I will take on e6 with checkmate. If he takes my knight, I will take on g6, and that should be checkmate on f7. If he takes my bishop and takes here, he'll clearly be losing. Knight d6 is actually a checkmate and 1 threat. Bishop takes g6 is coming. His position's completely collapsed. So, in hindsight, my idea to give up the a2 pawn has worked very well. So remember, there is a rematch after this game as well. And yes, I can't see how he's going to defend this one at all. This looks like it's over. So the one reason I put the queen into this square first is just to stop his bishop moving, because he might have tried moving his bishop and moving his king to this square. But now he can't move his bishop because a queen takes e6 checkmate. He can never castle queenside. I'm stopping that one. Stopping him ever having a possibility. And this is now checkmate. Bang. Okay, good. So there we go. We got a little cheeky winning. And we're in with another game now. So now we got the black pieces. So he's going to be out for his revenge. And we're going to go for the Dutch defense now. So that seemed to be like, or should we play the English defense? Okay, Dutch. People are saying Dutch. Okay, we'll do the Dutch because I have done my chessball course now. A lot of you might be interested to see that one. Now, one mistake I made in Title Tuesday when White moved the knight here against Georg Mayer. Oh, this looks a bit loose to me. Is I put the bishop on e7, which is clearly a bad square. Maybe I should be going slightly more aggressive. Let's put the bishop on b4. So I have a very good square on e4 here. Thanks, Captain Bumratty. Yeah, I mean that last game was quite flowing, wasn't it? It flowed okay. Hello to everyone else in the chat as well. Desert Storm, Jen's Chess, hello. Okay, so the only thing, I mean, I'm not worried about it, but one thing I'd rather avoid is this position could get quite blocked up. If he goes knight there, here, it's going to get blocked up. So I'm just thinking, is there any way I can make this position more exciting? So one idea is to obviously try to go for a quick e5. A more positional approach would be b6 and then bishop b7 and just try to control e4. And in that kind of thing, I'm going to be at least equal. But it's a bit more boring. So we're going to castle kingside and leave the options open. I want to give myself this opportunity to play d6 and here. So I think I'm going to go for this plan just because it seems most exciting. It's not as positionally minded as putting the bishop on b7. Because if my bishop's on b7, I control there. But I want to try to make the position a bit more exciting. So I want to try and play this move. Now I'm going to have to support it. Now d5 is always a move to, you know, think about. Okay, my opponent's playing too quickly. He's not seeing my plan of playing e5. This is what I was hoping for. He should have played maybe d5, but even then my knight comes back. I think now I will continue with my plan of e5. So I'm trying to make the position more interesting than it was. I could have gone for a more positional game, but this is the most exciting way to play. So, oh. Well, I'll just go here and win, don't I? This is my opponent absolutely crumbling there. And, well, he's not just losing one piece, he's now losing two. Maybe this is his tactical idea, but it's not a very good tactical idea because he's two pieces down now. So, looks like we're going to do the job for England. I don't know what he was doing there. I have no idea. He completely fell apart, yeah? Now, there is supposed to be a Blitz match a little bit later on. What time's the Blitz match? Let me just have a look. I'm just going to put you on another screen so I can look at my emails. The Blitz match is supposed to be 4:15. Okay, so right. Well, we've won that one. There we go. That was easy. Well, that was a short little stream, wasn't it? That was a short little stream. Well, at least we got 2-0 there in this friendly match against Greece, and at least we did our part for England. So, well, my opponent has to resign there because he's 2 pieces down. Yeah, I mean he's going to lose another piece here. There's absolutely no point of him playing on. Okay, let's say good game, thank you. So my opponent at least saying good game, thank you. We'll say good game back to him as well. Short and sweet. That's correct. So I guess I probably should keep the stream going a little bit longer. Let's play some Blitz chess. I don't know if I'll be playing the Blitz later on because I'm actually playing a Blitz tournament this evening, in actual fact. Why don't my opponents play as badly that when I play the Dutch? Yeah, I can understand that, Big Harvey. That was exceptionally. He played it. Yeah, he didn't. He got a bit of trouble in that game, didn't he? Maybe too much ouzo. I'm actually on the tee at the moment. I'm gonna have there's a private chess tournament I playing in the evenings around 7 o'clock, which I'm going to play. And I don't stream that one because sometimes I like playing where I can sort of listen to some music. So I'm going to have a couple of beers when I do that one later on. What was his rating? I think his rating's up there, Perno. 1816. Hello, Perno. I hope you're doing all right. Hope it's all okay. And well, let's play a little bit of Blitz, shall we? Let's play until I lose 2 games at Blitz. So I'm 2700, so I don't want to go below 2700 now. This would be very embarrassing. Okay, well, let's stick with the London system. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. Now, oh, he's playing for e5. Okay. Let me just get rid of what's this screen. Okay, we'll go here. I'm trying to just make some adjustments. There we go. We get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. By the way, you can see this course, Accelerate Your Chess, is on sale now, only for a couple more days. So I'm gonna put the price up on that very shortly. So don't lose out on the sale there. Okay, I'm trying to just make some adjustments, and he's playing too quick. We don't want to allow b5. I don't want to go below 2700. So what's going on here? Where are you? Okay, right. What's happening in the chess? Now, because I've got a space advantage, I don't really want to exchange pieces because that will allow these 2 pieces to come to life. So this is a much craftier move. And this... Oh, come on, why can't I get to that bloody thing? Is that it? Is that it? Yes. Okay, good. Maybe I'm a bit like... what do you call it? I don't know. Oh, I have to have things looking right or it really annoys me. There we go. Nice and centralized. Okay. Now I can start winning at the chess. Oh, right. I see. I wasn't paying attention there. So, of course, he's going to play this move. which is a good move because now that pawn becomes a real nuisance. I shouldn't have allowed that one. I should have taken there. I wasn't thinking. Okay, let's try to build back. I want to play g3 to open things up on his king side now. Okay, g5, we take it. Not too worried. I think my queen is safe. He's trying to exchange queens. Well, I'm gonna have to go for that. And how is this kind of position here? Looks kind of okay for both of us, I'm assuming. Let's try to get a bit of a clamp on that area of the board. He's got some play on the king side, but nothing that's really worrying. I just need to get this knight somewhere better. So maybe I should also be thinking about creating play with b4, but we'll open up the g file first. I want to try to control as many areas of the board I can. This looks like a way to get my play on that area. Anything going on there? No. So let's try to get a rook into c7. My knight very nicely stops his rook coming that way. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing like this. Another idea. Okay, so he's getting rid of my knight. It feels like his rook on f6 is actually misplaced, or if anything, because this one is coming in. And another idea I've got is getting my knight to this square. So I'm going to come straight in there. And this is why I'm saying his rook's misplaced. He probably wants it guarding that one. And now this is a good move. Because if I can protect my passed pawn there, it should be positionally winning. I mean, my pawn looks so bloody strong, doesn't it? I mean, look at that pawn. That is one sexy beast. And now he wants to get his knight in, so we'll stop his knight coming in. And we just got to maybe move our bishop to a better diagonal and try to get our rook to the back rank. So he is moving this one around, but my bishop's not doing anything. So I'm just thinking if I put it there, he's stopping that plan. I need to get my rook into the game. So we'll come this way. If he takes it, I'll come in. Okay, now I don't want to lose that knight. That knight is a good piece, isn't it? He's defending well, actually. Time. Maybe I'll come here with my knight. That's where I was going to come before. Okay, let's try to get my knight to this square. My pawn structure is very good, but I just need to get my pieces to better squares. So this is where I want to get my knight. My knight can then have loads of good squares to come into. I should have got my bishop to h3, actually. So he's... Well, first of all, rook. Oh, he's trying to swap off. The little cheeky... That's a good idea he's come up with. Getting rid of my pawn. So now I'm going to have to change plans. I want to win this one as well. Okay. Right. I've messed this up a bit now. I have messed this up. I want to play this move as well. I've let him win some crucial pawns, yeah? And I'm down on time. Stupid. I don't want to go below 2700, especially with such a great position I had. I'm not good at moving quick. Shit. This is annoying. Should have just... Oh, okay, I'm running out of time. Okay, let's try to bounce back. Put some full concentration into this next one. I was doing very well there, just cracked up in a short time. So we're trying to bounce back now. Oh, why did I go d6? Okay, we might get our normal position. So I spent all that time in the opening trying to adjust my stream, which cost me at the end. So I'm going to move quicker now against young Capablanca. I had this opening against this very similar position to this against Boris Gelfand. And that game went all right for me. So this looks like a good square for the bishop. Now d5 should be absolutely fine for me, this. I've got some nice squares for my knights over here. Now, which square do we go to with our pieces? Here. He wants to bring his knight here, so... Okay, let's just go. Let's play b6. So I might swap off my bishop for his knight if he brings it out the normal way. Oh, might need a beer after this. Might need it. Okay, let's get rid of that knight. That knight looks like a pain. Okay, we'll get rid of that one. Don't want this one coming in, so let's try to control that square. If he comes in, I can now eliminate it. But I'll probably put my queen on a bad square there, to be fair. Okay, stop playing so defensive. He's got rook to this square. That's his idea. Now, how is this? You might have seen me say in an interview recently that I overrate the two bishops. Or I think the two bishops are a little bit overrated, which I believe is true. I mean, people bang on about the two bishops, but knights are pretty good pieces as well. People, you know, you've got to remember knights can do their own bit of damage at the same time. Now this positionally looks pretty good for me, but like before, I'm going to have to be careful because my position looked great before as well. And then I flaffed it up. And he's got rid of one of my knights with f4 coming. That's a little bit annoying, because then this pawn becomes a real target. That's annoying. What am I doing there? What am I doing? I've let him... Do I have to go defensive? Really don't like going defensive, but I don't see any other way except to play this one. And if he goes here, do I have to go back even further? Right, well... This is annoying. Right, my king's always in trouble. Let's get it out of the way. And see if I can get some activity as well. I was always thinking about taking this one and use my A pawn. But what's he? Oh, he's attacking my rook. I move. Okay. And he wants to come in here. He's quite an annoying trickster, this guy. He's got loads of tricky moves up his sleeve. This is my one plan is just to shove it up the board. Now, is he going to play some tricky move like this? No, he comes the other way. I could have guessed. Come on, D pawn. Do it. Do it, D pawn. Do it, D pawn. Let's also show him we have some tricks. Now, this should be winning for me, but he is a very tricky customer. Here. Ah, my time. Oh, bummer. Again. Is this working? No, it's not working. So how do we win this bloody position? Should be, got to be winning. Queen. Okay. You can feel the tension. Oh, I've done it again. fucking done it again. Jesus, how do I let that happen? Well, that is obviously going to be the end of my stream. Ah, 2 great positions, and I've just tricked myself. Cheers. Oh well, that's disappointing. I'm playing so bad at Blitz recently when I stream. It gets really annoying when you get in winning positions and you just play your opponent. You're completely winning. You get short of time, and it all goes wrong. So, well, I've only got myself to blame for being an idiot. A bloody idiot. Let's just see how England are getting on. Well, we won 12-6 there. So, good result there. And I just let this rook come in. It's just stupid. I could go rook g8 actually, but with 3 seconds left, I just couldn't even be bothered. This move would have still been winning in classical chess. Let's say he goes here. I just go here to defend it, but I'm too slow to win for 3 seconds, so I had to do it. Well, I don't think Queen f7. This is. I mean, I'm a piece up. I'm about to queen. So rook here. I always go here. I'm threatening checkmate. He can't take here. He's got nothing. My king is safe. I'm threatening all sorts. I'm queening. So this would have been winning, but anyway, that's the way it goes. I move too slowly. Right, I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to go and have a beer now. I hope you all have a good day. I don't know if I'm going to do much streaming. We don't seem to be getting many viewers recently, so I'm kind of like thinking, sod it, to be honest. I'm going to have a break from it all. As it's quite a lot of work to do streams, and I know I'll be back with you guys again soon, but I think I'm just gonna have a break to try to make some money, because unfortunately streaming is not enough to pay the bills, and it does take quite a lot of work preparing lessons, preparing the streams. So I might do title Tuesday, but I think I might have a little bit of time off to try and actually make some money somehow, because I need to. So, all right. Well, cheers. Thanks. Goodbye for now.